Good evening, all. I hope you all doing well. Yeah. So Narayani ma'am, good evening.
Yeah, hi. Shushu.
Yeah. Good evening, ma'am. You can start the session.
Yeah. So we've got only 110 students. I'll probably wait for 2 more minutes, then I'll start.
Yeah. Okay, ma'am. You can wait. Then we'll start. No issues.
Okay. Okay, so I'm just waiting for others to join. Meanwhile, I think there are some of you who don't have a laptop, right? How many of you are there? Can you please put a thumbs up, those who don't have a laptop? Okay, only one person, is it? No. I think you've got three people, four people, five. Okay, so do you guys have a smart device like a tablet or something which can support Excel as well as Power BI? Okay, so the reason I'm asking is I think if you have a Microsoft 365, you can basically open it in any device. Similarly, Power BI is free once you have an account. Okay. So, guys, people who are just passively watching these sessions, it will be very difficult for you to showcase your skill sets in an interview. So, if not today, tomorrow, you need to definitely practice all of this using a laptop, okay? Or go to your lab and if you have any lab or a PC or a laptop, borrow it and try everything that we have done till now. Because you will lose out. If you will basically learn more by practice than anything else. This is also the reason we've been doing hands-on, right, for the past couple of days. Okay. But if you even have an Android phone, okay, you can download a free version of Power BI. And if you have already got a Microsoft 365 account, then you can log in and you can access your Excel and all there. Okay. So what will happen is it will then be hosted on an app, which is going to be your Chrome, Google Chrome. Okay. And you will do it there. But the main issue is then your shortcuts or the speed, right? You're completely dependent on a couple of things like your internet speed, and also it needs to be saved, auto saved in the file server in, I think, which is the cloud, right? Microsoft has got its own cloud storage. So you have to use that. Okay, clear? So that is fine as far as you're practicing, because all the formulas, everything that we have learned will work. Okay. Okay, so let's start. I think we've got very less students. Is there a reason why we are not having much students? So Shushmita, I think we've been seeing quite a drop in students, and suddenly around 8:30 we have double the number of students, around 300 students. Yesterday also I witnessed this. So Shushmita, can you disable people from joining after 7:30 or something, or after 8? Is that possible?
No, ma'am. Actually, it is not possible. I can just disable the chat, but joining option we don't have.
No,
They
because
can
what is
join.
happening is a lot of them are joining around 8, 8:15, and then from
Mhm.
8:15 they start asking for attendance.
Okay.
That is what I'm seeing for the past handful of days. Since Friday, I'm seeing this.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, I understood, ma'am. Let me check,
Because
ma'am. I'll
that
just
is
check and I'll.
going to bring a bad name to our certification, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah,
guys,
yeah, sure, ma'am. I'll
today
just
we
check.
are okay. Thank you. So guys, today we're gonna do dashboarding, right? So how many of you went back and practiced what we did using Excel pivot tables yesterday? How many of you tried that? Right? So yesterday, these were the functions that we actually did, right? We basically learned how to do match, VLOOKUP, then we did some pivot tables. We did some different kinds of pivot table, correct? So how many of you, do you have any queries on this before we move on? So is there anyone who went home and practiced this? Because today we are going to create a dashboard. So this is the kind of dashboard we are going to create. So I want you guys to be very clear what we did. Anyone having any questions, queries, put it on a chat window if you have any. Everything was clear. Okay, so let me ask a question. I want you guys to answer. So let's suppose I have just 1 minute. Huh? You can see my screen, everyone. Is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am. It is visible.
Okay. So let's say I have this table. I have a table A. Okay. Now this table A has got a customer ID. Okay. It is also having order number. Then it is having product number. Okay. Now there is another table which is having order number. Then it is going to have number of units ordered. Okay. Sales price. or MRP, it has MRP. Okay. And there is another table, table C, which is having product ID, right? Then it is having product name, and description of the product. Okay. Suppose I want to merge A, B, and C. So what function I will use for that? You can put it on the chat window, guys. So how I will do that? What function I can use for this? I will use match. Okay. Who else? I want to merge all these three tables. So I will use match, is it? How I will do match? I will do joins. Okay. So in Excel, do we have joins? Ayman Sheikh. So Power Query. Okay, that's correct. So you can go to Power Query and you can merge them. So that is correct. So I will give it to Ayman Sheikh. But here you can see that I want to merge all the three of them. Okay, so that is a valid answer. So how? So people who are saying match, think again. Should I use match or should I use a VLOOKUP? Okay, why suddenly Sandhya is saying VLOOKUP? So you should use a VLOOKUP. Why? Because you can see I need to get these details, right? Number of units, MRP, maybe product description or product details. I want it in one table, correct? So using order ID, I will get these details using VLOOKUP. Using product ID, I can get these details using VLOOKUP. Is this clear to everyone? Yes? Clear? Or like the other person said, no, Ayman Sheikh. So Raman Sheikh, you can use a Power Builder. Yes. So that's also valid. Very good. Okay. Making sense, everyone? So how can you guys practice this? How can you get data? Any idea? How many of you want to practice pivot tables and these special functions and creating dashboards in Excel? So I want you guys to just put thumbs up for people who want to practice, because then I will share some databases for you guys. So I can only see two people. So Manu Francis, where does AI come here? Do we need AI here? So why do you need AI? If you start using AI for everything, then what is the use of learning all this? We don't need AI here, correct? So why do you need to generate sample data? First, AI generated sample data is not even valid data, correct? There are so many places where you can get data from the internet. You can go to Kaggle and you can download data, isn't it? Okay, who knows the difference between match and VLOOKUP? So ChatGPT is not going to solve anything. If you learn ChatGPT, basically you are teaching ChatGPT how to do your job. That's all. So don't go and use ChatGPT for everything, okay? The more you use ChatGPT will become better dashboard creator than you guys. Okay, now Simran is asking what is the difference between match and VLOOKUP? What is the difference, guys? What is the difference between match and VLOOKUP? Anyone knows what is the difference? Tell me. It's a very good question. Okay, so Ayman Sheikh, you are partially right. Match is basically used to see whether a given cell is available in an array of data. It does not give you true or false. We have mapped it like that yesterday. Okay, so we used is NA, right? And then is number, that's why it is coming like that. Whenever you match, it gives you the row number. Okay, so in the array that you are matching this value with, right? If it's going to appear in the 20th row, it will show you 20. Okay, it will match and it will return the row number. If it is not available, it will show you NA. Okay, so that is the output for match. We wanted to map it as a boolean, so we have done that. We have written some functions yesterday. Okay, is this clear, Ayman Sheikh and others? Yes, Sandhya is correct. Okay, so see guys, whenever we are teaching you something, it is very important that you learn it properly. If you do not know, then ask questions. Okay, don't assume that what we did was exactly what match does. Okay, clear? Match is basically used to return the row number where this particular matched value occurs in an array. Okay, if it is not occurring, it will return NA. Yes, everyone clear? Okay, so today, so how many of you have got that merged data we had yesterday? So we are going to create a dashboard using that same data. Okay, yeah, Niharika, you're right. Okay, so we are going to take this data and we are going to create a dashboard. Now tell me, what was the difference between a pivot table and a dashboard? What is the difference? Any idea? What is the difference between a pivot table and a dashboard? Anyone? We can get real-time charts. Okay, what else? Yes, more than real time, concentrate on the part that it will have charts. Okay, it will have filtering. Very correct. Yes, that's correct. What else? What else will make it a dashboard? Filtering is correct. You'll get charts. That is correct. What else? Visualize to play. So in a pivot table, yesterday, if you see, we created one analysis with one pivot table, right? A dashboard will have a number of analysis. Clear? It might be charts. It can be indexes. It could be some, right? Am I making sense, everyone? So I have created one. I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, so you can see, so the same data we had yesterday, you can see I have created a dashboard. Is this a dashboard or a pivot table? So I'll show you how this dashboard works. Okay, I have got different. So this is a regional performance dashboard. So you can select the manager's name. Okay, it is going to, and you can select the years of data that you want. Okay, so you can see it is giving me total sales, profit margin, total orders. And here you can see I'm finding out month wise what is the total sales and what is my profit. How much is the profit? Can you see that? Yes? So you can see this is still Excel only. So you can see just like Excel only, I'm doing this, right? Is this a dashboard? Do you think this is a dashboard? This is a dashboard. Is this a pivot table? So you can see so I've got filters. I've got some 4 filters. You can see that. Now I've taken only one segment. Okay. So I'm only going to look at completed sales, right? Is this a dashboard? So the criteria you can see, right? It has got filters. It has got a number of data points, right? This could be data that is used by a management person or a sales person, right? So you can see that I have got total sales, total profit margin is 16.1%, total orders is around 1,194, right? Return rate. So the number of orders that have been returned is around 26%. You can see that. And then you can see that how sales and profits are moving. So basically, you can see that not necessarily high sales is corresponding to high profits. You can see that. So especially in November and April, right? We can see that the sales had dropped. So I'm only looking at one segment, technology. So I'm trying to understand. So this could be because of machines, right? So maybe I can add data tables. Check what is the issue. So you can see that it looks like I'm having a lot of, so maybe I will only select 2017. So you can see there is not much data in 2018, right? So same thing is there. And you can see that there is some segment called as machines, which is leading to a lot of, I would say, losses, right? And here are the markets. So maybe I can select another market and we can see this even more clearly. So in this markets, you can see that machines are also profitable. So in this particular region, so this manager, Cassandra Brando, you can see that basically there are just 2 markets which are causing losses, which is North Carolina and Tennessee. You can see that. But you can see the return rate for this particular region is pretty low. It's just 6%, right? So look at Andrea. So you can see one is a lot of returns are happening, but look at the profit margin, it's 20%. And you can see that April was a lot of losses. And you can see it's coming from one market. Now, do you think someone can do decision making using this? Yeah, someone raised your hands. Tell me, what was the query? So it totally depends. A dashboard can be created both in Excel as well as in Power BI, right? But suppose you want to create a dashboard that you can see in a mobile phone, then of course Power BI is better, right? Because you can actually customize your dashboard for a mobile phone. Similarly, if you are having big data, okay, you're having lots of data, or you are having data which is going to be stored in a server. So in these cases, it is actually good. It's a good idea to basically use a Power BI, because in Power BI, the ETL can be done much quicker and you can create pipelines. That means I don't have to extract the data and load it. Okay. Am I making sense, everyone? Because in Excel, this dashboard, to a large level, this is not real-time updation. I can probably, automate the updation. I can go to this dashboard, I can add more data, okay, and I can basically extend this dashboard. But I still, it is a cutoff, there's a cutoff period, isn't it? Am I making sense? Are you guys following what I'm saying? Why I'm saying that this Excel dashboard is static, whereas a Power BI dashboard can be real time? Am I making sense, everyone? Does that answer your question? Okay, clear? So let's create this. Yeah, someone is actually raising your hands. I don't know who it is. Okay, so we are going to create this dashboard. So how we are going to do? So everyone has got this data, correct? So I'm going to tell you step by step how to go about creating it. So the first thing we have to do is, let's unhide. So can you see I have hidden some pivot tables? Can you see that? So what I have done, I have basically created some pivots, okay? And I have basically, every pivot table I have linked it to a dashboard. It could be a chart, or it could be this KPI, or it could be these filters. Is it clear how we go about creating dashboards? So what is happening? So for creating this dashboard, you can see I've created some 5 pivots, right? So apart from this data sheet, I'm having these pivots. These pivots actually contain all the data. So it will slow this system to a certain level. Okay, since I only have some 1,000 or 10,000 data points, this is going to perform fast. But imagine I'm going to have 9 million data points. Okay, my Excel will become very unstable. Yes or no? Do you agree or not? So, Manu Francis, no matter in which platform you are creating a dashboard, the format of the dashboard will be fixed. The data can be updated dynamically. Is it clear? Okay, so this is a regional performance dashboard. So what I have done is, I have basically created this dashboard to be used by any of these area regional managers or people reporting to them. Okay, so the idea is that I have created some reports so they can basically select more data or less data, and they can see what is going to happen. Okay, so that's the logic here. Yes, okay, clear? So let's try this, guys. So first is what we have to do, create a pivot, guys. So select all this data. Okay, now I want to create this KPIs. You can see this KPIs. What is a KPI? A KPI is nothing but it is going to give me some top line data. That's called a KPI. That is key performance indicator. So if you have Anna and Rani, for her, what will be the key performance indicator? She will want to know what is the total sales in her region. What is the total profit in her region, right? What is the profit margin in her region? These are all going to be top things, isn't it? So can every one of you create? So I don't know about LMS, Ashwin. I have shared the file here also. This is the same file we have worked with yesterday. So even if you have that same file, it's fine. So Shushmita, there are people who are having still queries about LMS. If you can just share it. So I will share the dashboard file later. I want you guys to create the dashboard alongside me. I'm going to share that file again. Okay. It's the same file that we used yesterday also. Okay. So you have this data file. So I want all of you to select all the data, and I want you to create a, first I want you to create a pivot table. Okay. So what this pivot table will have? So the first pivot table that you're going to have is like this. So you're going to select the years. Okay. And you're going to select sum of sales, sum of quantity, sum of profit. Okay. Clear? So I'm going to use this one table for creating my KPIs. Are you with me? So if you want, we can create side by side. Let's change this sheet. So let me open that sheet that I have just shared with you. So guys, you can see this is the sheet I shared with you. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Okay, you can see this is the sheet I shared with you. Everyone agree? This is the sheet. Okay. Now we don't need row ID. Select everything else, guys. Okay. Now you go to insert and you say power table. Okay. So it's a new worksheet, that is fine. So select this, guys. Now what we want, you please select order date. Okay. So automatically you can see it is asking, it comes years, quarters, months, right? So I don't want the dates. I don't want the months. I don't want the quarters. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take sales amount, quantity, profit. Is it clear, everyone? You can see these are two different files. I'm also going to create this alongside you guys. Yes? Yes or no? How many of you have come to this stage where you have created this pivot? Pivot is done, everyone? Now what do? You basically click another sheet. Okay, so we'll name this as KPI pivots. Okay. Now we will create a dashboard. So name this sheet as a dashboard, guys. So you can see I've just created one. Okay. Now this is going to be my dashboard. Okay. So I go to this pivot. I select this pivot. You can see automatically this pivot table analysis is coming, correct? Everyone? If you want, you can save it as a Excel workbook. Copy paste. What is copy paste? What table I should do? I have shared the data. So I want you guys to code it, to do it alongside me, right? So today our agenda is to create a dashboard in Excel. Okay, we will create a dashboard in Power BI also. It's part of the course. We are not going to do that today. So stop asking for something which we will be doing, but not today. Okay. So this is the third time I'm sharing the same data file. This is the same data file that we used yesterday also. Okay, so this is the file, guys. So have you everyone got this file? Okay, so how many of you have downloaded the file? So I'm going to share my screen now actually. So you can see this is my file, right? Once you go into this, you can see there is an insert slicer, right? So you can click on this insert slicer, okay? And you can basically select on years. So you will get something like this. So you can see I have done that. You can cut, copy, and you can put it in the dashboard like this. Am I making sense? Everyone? How many of you selected the slicer like that? Okay. Similarly, you can create another slicer, right? What is the other slicer we wanted? So we have, you can see this is also an Excel sheet only. So these are all slicers. So we can select, and so you can see that this slicer is looking slightly different, right? So instead of looking at this, you can basically insert a timeline, okay, with order date, which is what we had done, right? Suppose I don't want that, I can remove it and use this if you want. Yes. So you can select any of these slices. Done? Is it done? Everyone? So you can similarly create another slicer. So this slicer is nothing but we have something called as region head, right? I have just renamed that slicer. How I can rename the slicer? Right click the slicer. You can see there is something called text and properties, right? So here you can say that I don't want to move it. You can change the height, size, position. So I can change the position if you want. So you can see I'm moving it. Similarly, I can move it here, right? So I can lock it. Now I can't move it. You can see. Okay, clear? So let's create another slicer. So now what I have done is I had selected this region head slicer. Okay. So you can see this is the slicer we had created, right? So you can go to slicer. You can see there's a display header. So here you can say manager name, right? And you can select hide items with no data. Then you say okay. So now you cut and paste it here. Okay. So we created slicers. How many of you have created these slicers? What other slicer you want to create, guys? Okay, so another slicer we can create. Go here, go to this, insert slicer. What else we want? Maybe you want to select the state. We can do that. And put it here. These are just some ideas. Okay. You can beautify it. How you can do, you can go select these colors. Okay. Right? Done. So here you can see what are the things I'm gonna share that screenshot with you guys. So create these slicers, guys. So we have got the region manager, the order date, segments, and this is that flagging which we did yesterday using match. Okay, so whether this was a return sale or it was a completed sale. So I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes. Can you create all these slicers? If you have completed the slicers, you can share a thumbs up so that we'll go to the next thing of KPIs. Yes, ma'am means you have finished it, is it? Or you're doing it? How to rename? I'll show you. Sorry, go here. So I want to rename this, right? So I basically go here. Can you see slicer settings? Come to display header. Or you can say market. Okay. Then you say hide items with no data. You say okay. Can you see it's now market? If you want to do multi-select, press shift and the other one, it will be selected. Okay. Okay, so these are the four slices I wanted you to finish. Region, order date, segments, and completed sales. Once you are done with it, please share a thumbs up so that we will go to the KPI. So are the four slices done? So guys who have said yes ma'am or done, can you please share thumbs up so that I can count how many of you have finished? Or do we take a break so that everyone can finish in the 10 minutes? Should we take a break, guys? Or we will continue? Okay, so we are going to take a break of 10 minutes. So by that time, I'm hoping that every one of you will finish the slices. Okay, finish the slices. So this basically means I've given you 10 minutes to create that pivot table and create these slices. Once we come back, I'll tell you how we will create the KPIs. Okay, this total sales, total profit, total margin, total orders. Okay, done everyone? Okay, is that fine? Can you please share? Is it okay or not? Okay, so now it is 8. Okay, it's 7:53 or something, right? So by 8:05 we will come back. So I'm hoping all of you, there are some 210, sorry, some 205 people, right, here who have joined. All of you, even if you don't have a laptop, currently in the 10 minutes, open the laptop, download this file, create the pivot and create the slices, okay? We are going to continue. We're just taking a short break. Okay, so we are back, guys. Everyone done? Have you done with slices? Everyone? Can you please put a thumbs up if you have done with all the slices? Okay, so now we are going to create, let's say, total sales. Okay, so you can see that this is nothing but we are creating like this, right? These are the KPI data that we are talking about, right? So you just put equal to, you can see it's total sales, right? So basically I go into this KPI pivot and I basically just select this. Okay. So can you see there is a grand total below sales amount, or I can do, so suppose I want to put this true false also, I can put this. Okay. Then I press, can you see this is what it is? Now I can change the currency. If you want, I can even change the decimal points, right? Then I can basically do some kind of coloring, right? So what I can do, I can go, I can select this. So I want green color, right? So we can go and we can select green color. One more colors. Some color. Great. So you can see the line color has become this. The line style, I can change my line style. Now I will just put it around it. You can see that. Yeah, everyone. Similarly, can you select total profit? So if you have this, I would suggest that in your particular pivot table, right, put this also. You can put this final sale flag also, true and false. Okay. The idea is that you have to select the grand total. Okay, here. Am I making sense? Everyone? So in your dashboard, right, you are creating your dashboard in a new sheet. There you go and select it. So you can see I have just selected it. If you want, I can change the line color again. Select profit for table name. Correct. So how we will do that, guys? So again, just doing this. Okay. Now we are just going to merge these and then merge these. Okay. So now you write total profit. So you increase. So now it's similar, right? Now you do equal to, go to this. Now you select total profit. Okay. So now again you can do your currency. Okay. Got it? So how do I know whether they are, so if I select this, can you see it is changing? Yes. Okay. So have you done this pivot table in this way, everyone? Why I have put to and fro false, guys? Because then I can select that also, right? So if you see here, there is something called return rate. So to calculate that return rate, I have put it. Okay. Am I making sense? Yes. So you will basically select this grand total, which is below. So why this helps is, so you can see here, I'm changing the year, right? Can you see here the year is changed? Is it visible to you guys? Right? Suppose I change here to 215. Can you see? This has changed here in the pivot. And I have selected this. Correct? Am I making sense, everyone? So similarly, you can select total orders, which is nothing but quantity. Okay. Quantity, you can see, is total orders. What is profit margin? It is total profit divided by total sales. Okay. So suppose I just now I'm going to select profit margin. Okay. So this is nothing but this divided by this. Okay. Got it? Now I want quantity. So what is total quantity? Okay. So this is nothing but I go to this sheet and I select this. Okay. So I have to say equal to, go to this pivot sheet and I select this. So let's check again. I select 216. You can see the numbers have changed. Come back here. So we want to check, right? So let's check whether the percentage is correct. So we're going to select that. Can you see it's 13.49%, right? So here you got, so maybe I can increase the decimal. Yes. How many of you are with me? You're following? Is there anyone who's not following? Profit margin was total profit divided by total sales. You can see I have just done this formula. Can you see that? Now I am just going to do returns rate. Okay. What is returns rate? So you go back to this pivot table. Returns rate is nothing but this false, right? I'm going to take for sales amount that divided by this total one, isn't it? That is returns rate. So just do that. Go to home and you do it as a percentage. Making sense, everyone? Again, you want to increase it, you can increase it. Is it clear? What is returns rate? So I select this also. Now you can see it has changed. So let's now check whether this is correct. So I do B15 divided by B21. Okay. Put it as percentage. It's 1.8%, correct? So you can see I've got the data correctly. So how many of you finished till here? So basically you can see that they are all linked. So if I select this, you can see returns rate is 17.1%. Here you can see this data has changed, right? Okay. So you can basically do all your sizing and all here. So that's not a problem at all. Okay. So now you will see I can move it. Okay. How many of you done till here? Please do a thumbs up if you're done till here. So if you have this pivot, you just have to select grand total. That's all. So for sales, you take this. For quantity, you take this. And for profit, you take this. Okay. You never select the year data. Okay. So if you have false and true, you basically select this data. This false data. Okay. Am I making sense, everyone? Suppose I select like this. Okay. You can see this data has changed, right? So here you can see so what was the problem here? Okay, so I put the wrong thing, right? So it should be by 25. Okay. So out of the total sales, how much was returned? That's what is the rate of return, no? So it's 14.8%. So how many of you got that? So is it done, everyone? Okay. Now we are going to create this particular chart. Okay. So what is this chart? You can see I've got month on month. This is a combo chart where I've got sales on the left side. This is your primary axis, which is in 10,000s of rupees. And your profit is on the right side. Sorry, sales axis on the left side. Profit is in thousands and it's in the right side. Okay. So what we have to do now? We have to basically go and create this pivot. So you can see I have created this. It's a very simple one. Can you see this? I have just created this pivot, right? What is it? I have taken. So don't go and change this pivot. You have to create another pivot. How you can create another pivot? just go copy this pivot and you just paste it. Okay, now you change it. So what we are going to change? So we're going to change this to months. Okay, so we don't need quantity, remove the quantity. And now you take the order date. So here you can see you have got months, correct? So this is the data we want. Okay, everyone. Now you can basically go here and can you see there is something called pivot chart here? Yes, everyone. So just click on this and you change this to line, the profit to line, or maybe 3D line, whichever you want. So, sorry, so let's change it. So we're gonna basically change the thing to combo. Okay. So have you got this profit, right? So select on this profit. Now we are going to do format data series. Here you just select secondary. Okay. So now you have got a, so you can see that your profit is in the right axis. Your sales is in the left axis, right? Everyone got this? Yes. How many of you got this? You can do whatever design you want, or you can select something from like this. Okay, so any of the formats you can just select from here. Whatever this means, okay? So here you can see there are a few things we have to do. We have to do an axis title. So what is this axis, guys? This we know is our sales, right? So just write it here. So here you can see I can add an axis title here. What is this axis going to be? It will be profit, right? And this is what? Okay. So we have given a title. We have given a, you can see axis title. So if you want, you can give a color also to this place. Okay. So now I've got this. I can increase the size. Now you can see that this axis is taking a lot of space, right? So I can change this. How I can change it? Basically, go to number. Okay. So here you can see display unit is none, right? Go to this and say this is in thousands. Okay. And you can remove the decimal also. Similarly, you can go here and you can say this is in thousands. You can remove the decimal. Okay. Now close it. So now just cut this chart, come to our, paste this here. How many of you are with me? Are you following what I have done, guys? Okay, we had to put a title. That also we can do here. Basically change. Okay. How many of you have done this? Raise your hands. Okay, so this is done. Now we will create this other chart. Okay, what is this chart? Now let's just copy the same chart. So I am going to create another pivot. So you can see these pivots are not interconnected, right? Now I will change the data in the pivot. How we will do this? We'll go. Now we basically need categories, right? Subcategory here. So remove the month. We do the category in this if you want. Now I'm only looking at perhaps, profit. So you can see it looks like this, right? Now for this particular, if you see, I just need to create so I don't need these grand totals, right? So go to design. So you remove these two, okay? So now what we are going to do, again, select this, create a pivot chart. So can you see this? So now I'm going to do right click. I want to change the chart type now. So now we are just going to select this. Can you see this? Everyone? Okay, so now we will just remove all these axes. We have to format this axis, right? So where we will do, one is the 50 currency. Let's just do this. Okay. And in the pivot table, you can come and you can do this in descending order. Okay. So can you now see that I've got that chart? So now you go to this format axis. Where do I want the axis, guys? The labels. I basically want this low. So select low. You automatically can see what has happened now. So just add the data label. So again, you go here. So go to the label, text options. So you have to select the label, format the data label. Okay. So here you can say number, select it as currency, 0. So now we definitely have negative, right? So let's select the negative like this. Oh, we have selected only one of them. Okay. So similarly, you will do here, add data label. Add data label. Okay. Select all the labels. Again, select these labels. Okay. So if you want, you can change the colors also if you want. So now you can see we've changed colors, right? Now just cut it and paste it here. Okay. So you can see that I did not put any column label or anything, right? So I can add that. So let's put that. So here I've gone here. Sort of slicer, which would be category. So you can see I have got this. So I'll add the slicer here. Okay. So can you see this, guys? Yeah, Chaitra, you wanted to ask something? How many of you are following? Raise your hands. Okay. Okay, great. So there's no issues, right? All of you know how to do this, correct? Okay. Now create this third one also. So for this, you can see what is the table I have taken. I've taken profit and discount. Okay. So will you be able to create this last one, this table? How many of you will be able to create? Is there anyone who thinks they cannot create this last table? Sorry. Okay. So let's come to Excel. Okay. So we have created, right? So I'm just going to rewrite this as dashboard 2 or whatever. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I just have to format this sheet. Can you see this? How it will look? Suppose I want to format it like this. Okay. So let's see what all we can do. So you can go to view. Okay. So I can remove formula bar. I can remove grid lines. I can remove this. You can see now it's looking like a dashboard, isn't it? Everyone. and I'm going to save it. Is it clear, everyone? Making sense? Okay. Now what I can do is in this data sheet, you can see that currently I have created this pivot, right? Suppose I'm expecting the data sheet to increase by another 1,000 or something, right? So what I can do is I can go here. Okay. So here you can see there is this data source, right? So I can go here and I can basically select more files if I think more rows are going to be added. Only if more rows are going to be added, I can do that. Okay. So you can see currently it is here, right? So you can see here, I've selected the whole column. So if you add more rows, automatically this data will be updated. So what I have to do, I will just come here, right click it. I go to pivot table options. Okay. And I am basically going to go to data, refresh data while opening file. So you just have to click on this. Am I making sense, everyone? And I can remove this also. And if you want, you can remove this also, but ideally we shouldn't do that. Okay. So just select this, go to data and say refresh data while opening file. Okay. And then you say, okay. So what this will mean is if I simply have this data and I'm updating this data, right? I can just add all those rows or column or whatever here. Okay. And then I go to the pivot table, I can say refresh. Okay. Automatically this dashboard will be updated with the new data. Am I making sense? So let me give you an example. So let's say I've got all of this data. So I'm going to corrupt this data now. Okay. So what I will do, try to add something. Okay. So you can see I've added this again, right? So you can see I've added something, right? So I go to all this pivot. I basically say refresh. You can see it is increased, right? So I go to each one of them and I'll say refresh. Okay. Come back to the dashboard. You will see it would have increased. Yes or no? Is it clear how we will update this files? How many of you are having queries? Raise your hands. Is there anyone who's not understanding this? Now, what we will do with the pivot, we will select this and we will hide the sheets. Sometimes we can even hide the data sheets if you want. Okay. And any update of data that you get, we will just write it via VBA to update it. So then what is going to happen? This is automatically going to be updated. Am I making sense, everyone? Anyone who's not understanding this? Okay, can you see whether the chat is now activated? Okay. Is this clear how we will create how we can create a dashboard in Excel? It's very simple and easy, isn't it? Yes or no? Anyone who's finding this very difficult? Is there anyone here who doesn't understand anything or finding it very difficult? So now everyone can create a dashboard using Excel. Okay, how do you remove? Just go to view. You can see there is this grid line, right? Just remove the tick from the grid line. Clear? Okay. No, you have to write some automation code for this. If you have another Excel sheet also, right? You put it in a folder. You can basically write some automation code. So the idea is that basically your data has to be copied into this. That's all, right? So you can record it as a macro or you can write it as a VBA. Right? It's gonna automatically happen. Okay, clear? Everyone? Shall we move on, guys? Okay. So we saw how easy this is, right? We have created this great dashboard, right? So whatever we have understood, we have created. You can create many more dashboards. For example, you can create a dashboard which will show you order fluctuations. You can create that certain dashboards for insights, right? So I would suggest that using this data, create a number of more dashboards. Think about how a marketing manager will use this data. Okay. So if the marketing manager has to use this data, what he will do? Create a dashboard. Okay. Similarly, think how a financial person is going to use this data. So if the financial person is going to, you can create a dashboard for finance also, right? Am I making sense? Think how a brand manager can use this data. Okay. Clear? Right. Now we are going to understand what are the difficulties in. So we found that Excel is very easy, right? It's simple. I can create these dashboards. It's all great. But when does it start to struggle? When you have got lots and lots of data. For example, you are creating a dashboard using stock market price. Is it possible to do it in Excel? It is not. Why? Because it's possible that you are going to get so much of data that Excel cannot accommodate. Then what will happen? Excel will basically start to glitch. Okay. Other things are, suppose you want to create a dashboard where based on the password, that is different people are logging in. So there is a regional manager, there is a distributor, there is a retailer. I am making all of them log in. Okay. And based on their role, I want them to see different versions of the dashboard. Then you have to create different dashboards only. It's not possible for you to do that in Excel. Okay. So there are these issues where Excel is not good enough. This is where, or look at this scenario. Suppose you want to create a dashboard which is you can see through your mobile phone. It's not possible for us to create this using Excel. Okay. So this is where your Power BI comes into the picture. So in Power BI, this is like advanced Excel. It is some 10x of Excel. Why? Because I can directly connect it to data pipelines, APIs, right? So I can do that. I can do automated data refreshing. I can do very secure sharing of data. So based on the logins, I can show who's going to see which data. Okay, clear? If you want automated refreshing, then also you can do. Okay. So what are the differences between Excel and Power BI? So this is going to be file based. For example, I showed you, right? You will take all the data, put it in the file. It is going to update based on that. Whereas Power BI, it is, I will just link some databases. It's also possible for me to directly link the databases or the APIs, data pipelines. It is going to get data automatically as per the time I'm setting. It is going to update the model based on the data updates. It is automatic. I can basically do role-based logins and dashboards, right? And even if I have a million users, it is possible for me to scale it. So what is Power BI? Power BI is not a cure for the problems of Excel. Power BI is like an Excel on steroids because it can handle a lot of data, because it is having the ability to work with multiple types of data, big data, right? And the advantage for us is if you know Excel, you know 70% of Power BI. Is it clear, everyone? So I think this guy who's calling himself admin is saying that, okay, so you could not create the dashboard. Are you now confident you will create the dashboard now? That is the question you have to ask. Are you guys now confident that you will create an Excel based dashboard easily now? Yes? Okay, great. So now we are going to go with Power BI. Now let's look at how Power BI will enhance your career. It is something in demand in India and abroad. There's a huge demand. Many people across industries use Power BI, whether you're in petroleum or you are in urban planning or you are in IT, you're working at Microsoft, Google, Apple, you can use Power BI, and it's also very cheap. So it's available easily. And finally, if you get a certification or you can showcase your expertise in Power BI, like, you will actually get a lot of respect in your organization. Okay, so these are the advantages. I think attendance is already given here. Yesterday's attendance, we cannot do anything about it. Okay, if you did not give your attendance for yesterday, it's gone. So this is today's attendance. Okay, so now let's look at how to download Power BI. So basically, you can see this is how your Power BI will look like. Okay, so how you can download it? So you can go to this web page and you can download it. I'm going to share this in Zoom. Sorry. So you can download Power BI. It is free. If you have Windows, it is free. It is also free for a lot of smart devices. Okay. So you can see system requirements, install instructions, everything is there. Okay. So you can simply select the language and you can press download here. So I'm hoping all of you are going to download this today, right? So tomorrow you will come with the downloaded version of Power BI. Explain what clearly? So I'm just showing you how you can download Power BI, Priyanka. So anything that you want to ask? Okay, so all of you have got Power BI. I have just shared here, na, at 8:50 p.m. I have shared the attendance, Shreya. Can you just go back and see it? Okay. So if you have downloaded Power BI, open it. This is how it will look. So today I'm just going to take you through the Power BI window. From tomorrow, we will start working on this. Okay. So you can see it is having a report view. It is having a table view, a model view, DAX, and you can see that it is having a 3MDL view. Okay. So what does it mean? So you remember, if I want to upload in Excel, You can see that same thing is available here. Can you see that? Suppose I want to import a data, okay? So I can just select it here. Now you can see this. I'm just going to select some data. Okay, so you can see I've got so much of size. Okay, so you can go to data downloads. So here you can see I've got the superstore data, right? Yesterday we had this data. Okay, so I'm just gonna open this file. So you can see automatically the Power Query will open. So can you see now? It's automatically opening. This is the same view as your Power Query in Excel, remember? So I can select orders, people, returns. Okay? Can say load here. So you can see it's loading it. What is the difference between Excel and SQL? Ah, there is a huge difference, isn't it? SQL basically is for RDBMS. So when the data is it's available in a database like an Oracle or a MySQL, it's called as SQL data. Okay. So how you will retrieve that data? You write some queries. Okay. So it's called standard query language. That is SQL. And Excel is, we know, it's just a worksheet, right? So if you write a SQL and you get the data, that data is comparable to Excel. Okay, that's the difference. So now you can see I have loaded this data. Can you see this? Now I can go here, I can see the tables. Can you see this, guys, everyone? Okay. So I will show you something very interesting. So there we had to basically write something and all, right? So here that's not at all the case. I can actually just link these tables directly. So we will see how we will do it tomorrow. Okay. So I don't have to do a VLOOKUP. I don't have to do any of that. So here I can basically remove these if you want. I can remove these columns. So you can see I've removed it. Okay. Similarly, this returned also I can remove it. Okay. Now I can just go here. What are the different tables we have got? We have got orders, we have got people, and I've got returns. Okay. So returns, so customer, so I think order ID is the same, right? So we will create a relationship like that between returns and this. So I will just have this returns here, customer here. Okay. Select the order ID and I'm going to match it with here. Can you see this, guys? Yes. Automatically they will be linked. Similarly, I think here we have the region. So, and you select it here. You can see it is automatically showing me. So I have this region. And I have got here another region, right? Okay. You save it. So I've automatically linked this table. That's all. Now I can basically create whatever I want. Isn't it simpler, everyone? Don't you appreciate this? So we will learn more about Power BI tomorrow, okay? So everyone, please download Power BI, okay? And come to class tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll start with Power BI, okay? All right. Thank you. So Shushmita, they're asking about attendance. Can you please take over?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. We can wind. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so dear students, attendance which is already shared in a chat, I have shared it once again. Kindly mark your attendance. So yeah, we can wind up for the day. Thank you all. Thank you for joining. Good night.